In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the windshield wiper transmission on this Volkswagen Beetle. Let's get into it. Before we take the wiper arms off, we're just going to take a crayon and just mark the windshield where they are so that we can put them back in the right position afterwards. We'll do the same on the other one. Take this cap off. You can use a pick and just get underneath there, pop that off. Using a 13mm socket, take this nut off. And just grab the wiper arm. You should be able to rock it up and down and get it to come off. They do make wiper arm pullers that you could use if that doesn't come off so easy. Now we're going to do the same on the other side. And just grab the arm. And pull it off. Now I'm going to pull this weather strip off. Just pull this up, just like that. Then you can grab underneath the cowl, and it should slide up. It kind of pulls out a little bit. There is a groove. You can see a groove right there, and that slips in. This slot goes into that groove. Take this bolt out here, use a 10mm socket. These two wiring harnesses are clipped in here. Just to unclip those, move those to the side. Same with this one. Just set that to the side. Now there's a 10mm bolt here. Use a 10mm socket. Take that out. And now we're going to take the same one out on the other side. And then just lift up on this panel, and you should be able to slide it forward. Just slides out, just like that. There's 3 bolts here. We're going to take those off. Use a 10mm socket. Last one. Take those off. And then just grab the wiper transmission and just slide it out gently. There is a connector underneath. You're going to have to disconnect the connector. Just push down on the tab and slide the connector off. And it slides right out. Before we take the motor off, you just want to take a marker, and we're just going to mark where this arm is, right here. Because when you put it back together, you just want it in that same location. So I'll take a 17mm wrench and just put it on the arm right here. And then underneath here, there's a nut. use a 13mm wrench, take that nut off. Just loosen that up. And there's the nut. Now we're just going to use a pry bar or a trim tool and just rock this up and down. This will slide off and out of the way. Now we're going to take these screws out. Use a T30 socket. And slide the transmission right off. Before we attach the wiper motor to the wiper transmission, we want to make sure this is in the park position. So we'll hook it up to the vehicle. Just push that on. Then we'll turn the key on and just make sure that this goes back to park. See, it spins. And then now it's in the park position. And I'll shut the key off. Now we're good, we can disconnect the connector. Now slide this on, same way it came off. Get the 3 bolts started. And we'll tighten it down. Just snug it down. Now take the arm and just slide this in position and make sure it lines up with your marks. Take your nut. Get your nut started. And then we're going to do the same thing with the wrench. Hold the arm. And then using the 13mm, just tighten the nut down. You just want to snug it down. It's good. I'm going to slide this back in place. And before we put it completely in position, we're just gonna take the connector, line it up, get that plugged in. Just keep your fingers out of the way just in case something is off and it starts up on you. You should be all set, but there we go, that's plugged in. Take the bolts, get the bolts started. And we'll snug those down. And now take this panel and we'll slide it in place. Just make sure you don't catch any of the wires. Put the bolts back in. 2 bolts on the side. And we'll tighten those down. Push these connectors back in these retainers, right here and right here, just like that. Now I take the cowl, line this up, and where it sits in the windshield, you just want to line that up and just push it in, and that will seat all the way around. Take the weather stripping, line that up. And push it down. Take the wiper arms, get those started. Make sure you line those up with the windshield. Take the nut, get that started. Snug that down. Put the cap on, then you can do the same on the other one.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.